What's up, vapes? It's not my favorite day of the week, but you know what? It's my favorite thing to do. It's hump day! And I'm bringing you my review and build on the T-Protank. More importantly, the build in here. This is basically the clone of the Areotank, which I've already done a review on. So you tired of buying coils? Do you own a Protank, Protank 3, Protank 3 mini, and want to know how to build your own coils in here? Well, I figured out an easy way to do dual coils in that tiny little cup. So stay tuned. Hump day! I just can't get over the clouds I'm getting out of the fog. But it's more importantly the T-Protank that we're doing today. Not really gonna go too much into review on this build because, like I said, I've done the review on the Areotank, and this is basically just the a clone of the Areotank. But I figured out a neat little trick on how to do the dual coils down in the bottom of this in that tiny little cup in there. It's going to make it a lot easier to do the build on this with some cotton. You guys know I love my cotton. I'd way rather vape on a micro build with cotton in there than I would any kind of silica build. And don't forget, I'm giving one of these away right now as we speak. Don't forget to check out my other videos. I always have a giveaway going on. I love giving back to you guys. All right, let's dive up close and personal, kind of show you this tank a little bit, and then I'm gonna go straight into the build on this with the dual micro coils and show you guys that trick on getting those 2 micro coils in there, placed right, and get this baby wrapped up, filled up, and we'll give it a vape and see what we think. All right, guys, we are ready to go through the T-Protank. We get that moved out of the way there. All right, if you got one of these, it's basically built almost identical to the Areotank. So all you gotta do is take the top out, take the coil out just like you normally would. For this build, we're using a 30 gauge Kanthal, and then we've got a 1.5 millimeter micro screwdriver, some tweezers, and of course a torch and some organic cotton. And an ohms checker. Don't forget, you gotta check your ohms. In this coil build, you can do this dual coil on any of your dual coil Kanger tanks that you have, and anything that takes this dual coil. So you just take this rubber dill off the top here, right like that. All right, we got the little rubber dill off the top here. All you gotta do is pull this stem out, oop, right there, and all I do is I take it and just pop it like that. Next, all you gotta do is take this stopper out right here, pop it out just like that, set it off to the side, and then this little rubber insulator right here, just kind of pinch it and pull it out. So your 4 wires coming out the bottom right there. Those wires right there, you just push them up through, grab your coils, grab your coils, and then just pull them out. Piece of cake, guys. Even if you're new to building coils, you can do this. All right, now I got about, I don't know, a foot or so of 30 gauge Kanthal here. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap our coils here. Now you're gonna want to leave at least an inch out here. It'll make it a lot easier on you to leave at least an inch, and then go ahead and start wrapping your coils, and wrap them as tight as you can. All right, so I got 1 wrap. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, let me get in the frame here. 8, 9. 10. Go kind of, oh, there you go. Okay, we did 10 wraps on there. Make sure when you cut those, you leave yourself enough room there, at least about an inch there, okay? Alrighty, we just got to repeat that process for the next coil. Alright, we got both coils built. Now all we got to do is torch them up here. So make sure you torch them up so they're nice and glowing red. Alright, there's the second coil. Look at that, all nice and tight. Nice little wraps there. Alright, now what we're going to have to do is put both coils in this cup right here, run the wires out the bottom to get them hooked to that bottom post for a negative and our positive. And I've come up with a trick. All you need is a couple of toothpicks. That's the trick on holding your 2 coils in there while you're doing everything else. You just take one of these coils and just barely push it on that toothpick, not too hard. You don't want to have to pry too hard to pull it back out. And then take your second one, And do the same thing with it. We want to kind of spread those wires out just a little bit, just like that on both of them. All right, now what you're going to want to do is take this one, take the ends, put one down like that over the other one, and then take your toothpick and turn it like that. Okay, now, see, now we got them both positioned right above one another. Okay, you want them separated. Oops. They're going to slide around on you a little bit. Just kind of push them back up on that toothpick. Make sure they're tight, but not too tight. Okay, now one set of these wires on one side, like you got two on one side and two on the other. You want to cut one side shorter than the other one, and I'll show you that why in just a minute. Now you just got to work those wires down in the base, that hole in the bottom of that cone right there. This can get a little tricky until you figure it out. Oh, it just slid right in there, just like that. You see that? Oh, I barely cut those long enough. If you can see that, yep, right there, barely sticking out. I got lucky. Now you got your toothpicks there like that, and it's loose. See that? It's sliding around. See them down in there? Now all you got to do is take these, get them positioned where you want. The bottom one just above the bottom of, oh, sorry. You want that bottom, the bottom coil or the bottom toothpick just above that little notch in the cup right there. Once you get them both positioned, get the bottom one, just push that toothpick in there, pull the second one up just a little bit, and you can push it in there too, just like that. Hey, just take these and push them in there. It will push your coils over to one side, but that's okay. We can straighten them out once we're done. See how that holds those coils in there for you? Nice little trick, huh? They're not moving around, you're not fumbling around. It holds them in there nice and tight for you. Part here I almost messed up is these two, the shorter ones, just bend them over. Okay, see that there? How I just took the shorter wires, the shorter two that I barely had enough room for, and just all I did is I bent them over the side of the cone there. Oops, still. Bend them over the side of the cone, just like that. See that right there? Now we got the ends right here, bent over. We got the two other longer leads coming out of here, and that will be our positive. So all we got to do is put this rubber insulator back in there and make sure the little nipple end goes in first. And just grab a hold of the cup here, and then just put it in the side of the cone there. Take your fingers and just pop it in. Just like that. Okay, now that we got the rubber insulator in there, all we gotta do is take and bend these over, the positive leads coming out of there, spin them over to the side, and then we take the metal positive post and then just slide it down the bottom. Alrighty, now all we got left to do is snip off these leads here. That one and then the other ones. Alright, look at that. Check that out. We got a dual microcoil. How easy was that, guys? Alright, now that we got the end snipped off, check that out. Dual microcoil. See, they stayed in there, didn't move around on us. I'm so glad I figured out that trick. And then you just grab one of your toothpicks here and just pull real easy, and then turn it. You want to kind of twist it a little bit around, pull it out of that coil. Check that out. Look at that, right in the middle where we need it. And if you need to, if they're moved to one side or the other, the bottom is kind of moved over a little bit, just take your toothpick or the screwdriver that you had and make sure they're lined up straight through the bottom. We got to move that bottom one just a hair here. Alright, there we go. All you got to do is screw it in here, screw it back into your base tank, throw it on your ohms checker. So we're at 1.1 on your ohms. That's where I like it at. You can definitely go higher on that. Use a 2mm screwdriver, or you could go 12 or 14 wraps. Oops, and get those coils big. Get those ohms up. But look at that there. See that you got plenty of room in there if you wanted to do 12 or 14 wraps, or go with a bigger a bigger coil with like a 2mm. Alrighty, now we've got our ohms checked and we're good to go. I'm going to show you guys how to wick this. And you got your cotton here. You just twist one end like that to a point. And I just take my scissors here and cut part of that off. Just makes it a little easier for me to thread it through. Now you want to thread your bottom coil first through. It's hard for me to show you guys how much cotton I use, so my general rule of thumb is just have enough cotton in there so it slides through and is taut when you're pulling it through the coil, but doesn't move the coil too much. And I always pull through one way, and then I go through the opposite way. It just makes it easier for me to hold the cotton down. Perfect. Taut, but I'm not trying to pull too much through there. All right, there we go. She's wicked up. All right, now when trimming your cotton, just like in the last video that I do, and all my videos that I do on these rebuilding these kind of coils, you just want to take it and see where you want to take right where the ring is, that big ring right there. You want to trim your cotton even parallel up to the top of the coil. So just like that. And all I do is when I trim my cotton is I take my scissors and let them ride on that ring there. Let them ride on that ring right there, and then just snip away. See how that cotton is just even with that ring? That's what you want. All right, all that's left is put the top cap on. It's a little stiff there, just kind of push it down in there, and then take your little rubber deal. What this does is it seals the coil up to the post in the tank. Put that back on, and it will kind of compress down your cotton a little bit and help with keeping it from leaking. And then just screw it back into your base. I don't pre-wick these at all. I will go through and I'll rebuild probably 5 or 10 of these at a time, so I have them on hand to change them out in my tanks when I need to. So let's double check our ohms one more time. Make sure something didn't get moved around, didn't get shorted out. There we go. We're at 1.12. Alright, so I'm going to fill this one up with Killer Juice's Cherry Berry Chiller. I've dripped this a little bit, tried it, but I can't wait to put it in the tank. So here we go. Let's fill it up. Just tip your tank to the side. That smells good. Oh yeah. Alright, I'll just put this on. We'll give it a few minutes, and I'll see you up on the other side. Now you gotta look at my face. I feel sorry for you. Welcome back, guys. Coil's built. If I can do it, you can do it. Just be safe and make sure you know what you're doing when you're getting into building coils. Make sure you get an ohms checker. I think probably cost-wise, we rebuilt that coil for about 20 cents. You can't beat it. And let's check out the Vapor. I got it up on my Carvella. Check that out, that patina I did on it. It's not perfect patina, but you know what? I did it, so I love it. I think it's awesome. Let's give this a vape. I'm very curious to see what this cherry berry chiller is all about. Let's give it a vape and see what we think, and see how the coil works. Nice Vapor. Check that out. Let's do one more. Oh yeah. Awesome Vapor out of that. I'm impressed. We got, if I'd put this on a variable wattage and cranked it up to 15 or so on there, you get a lot more Vapor out of it. I just wanted to see how a 1 ohm coil would perform on a mechanical. Performs pretty damn well. Let's do one more vape. Let's do a mouth to lung. Let's check it out. Oh yeah, you can't beat it for what we paid to rebuild that. 20 cents. You know, I know all you guys, if you're using a Kanger, you've got plenty of coils, old coils lying around. Don't throw them away. Rebuild them. A little bit of cotton. You can pick up a bag of organic cotton from Walgreens is where I got this at for a couple bucks. Some Kenthal wire for a couple bucks. I got this little set of micro screwdrivers at Harbor Freight, I think for like $10 or $7 or something. And then just pick you up a little torch, like that, some Kenthal, you're good to go. You can rebuild your own coils, not have to buy more, or not have to buy as many, because you know I've rebuilt some of these 10 times already, the coils in there, and they're still going strong. And the best part about it is when you have that micro coil in there and you change out your juice, all you got to do is take the cotton out, heat it up a little bit, or don't even have to heat it up. Take the cotton out, put some fresh cotton in there, put the new e-juice in there, boom, you change out the juice in your tank that fast. You don't even have to change out the coil. Some of these coils I've been vaping on, I'm guessing a couple weeks, a month. All I do is when I start getting a burnt flavor out of it, or my e-juice starts getting a little darker, pull that cotton out, heat it up, let it cool down, re-put some cotton in there, and I'm off and running again. So I hope this build was useful for you guys. I hope you can use it, save you guys some money, and just have fun. Oh yeah, way better vapor out of that, by far. And just remember guys, live and let live, and definitely enjoy this hump day. Oh yeah, Wednesdays aren't that bad. We're halfway to the weekend. Check out that cloud. Have an awesome day, you guys, and I'll be thinking about you when I'm vaping on this cherry berry chiller. It's pretty damn good.